Welcome back, everybody, to a long overdue live episode of the Wisemen Say Podcast. Ty Fisher alongside Gerald Lucas, Derek Abbott. Boys, it's been a while. I feel like I forgot how to do this. How are we doing?
I'm here.
Are you on your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
I told you I hate my laptop.
Fair. That's true.
I've been all over the place. I think since we last recorded and did a show, I went to Vegas, then I went to Nashville, and then I went to New York City.
This guy's been all over the world.
I'm excited. I don't have anything coming up that is outside of the Columbus city limits, and I'm very happy about that.
This is the way.
Yes.
I think since we last did a show, I've been to Vegas. I've also been to work. Andy, my guy, man, I missed you too, man. Trust me, it's been a long time. How you doing? Yeah, she went to Vegas for the first time and she wants to go back.
I mean, since the last time we did a show, I've been bed rest.
Not as exciting.
And having drain tubes taken out of legs, so.
But you're here now.
I'm
With the
still supposed to be
collectible
on
cup?
bed rest, but you know.
Was doing pretty good until we blew a 2-goal lead at home, and I think that just kind of perfectly segues into, the first thing that we're going to talk about today, and that is the Crew taking on Minnesota United, a 2-goal lead, and we lose 3-2.
WTF.
We were there. Me, Gerald, Derek. Were you there?
No, I had an event to go to.
Did you watch it?
I was watching on my phone periodically when I could, and then I saw it was not going well.
Yeah. So I mean, what to make of that game? We looked good. I feel like we looked good, right? I just think, as Steven said, I just think the laziness kind of creeped in after about 59 minutes.
I will say I don't think Camacho needs to start.
No, I would agree.
And there was a couple instances Saturday that he got in Patrick's way and caused some of that, and you could see that frustration between Patrick and him. And that second goal, was it the second or the third? The third one. The third one, I don't blame on anybody but Camacho. And I blame Camacho because Patrick had a chance to scoop it up. And Camacho kicks it out for a corner. Knowing damn well that we didn't have Malde there, who's one of our tallest players out there, who's, a great aerial duel winner, for Columbus. He gets pulled at halftime due to injury. You put Yevon in, cool, no problem, right? I love seeing Yevon out there. But you got Camacho playing, I don't know what the hell Camacho was out there doing. He was getting burnt. Old age was sitting there creeping in a little bit. I just, I don't think, I think Camacho needs to come off as a sub. Come off as a starter and go in as a sub, because that right there, that was bullshit. And then like Steven said also too, the the laziness, and then you're like 5 minutes away from full time before you go to stoppage, and you're just dilly dallying with the fucking ball. Like there was no sense of urgency. There was a lack of aggression. They're late. It was like they wanted to keep trying to do their style. You're down 3-2, and you're just, side to side to back, side back, side back, and not even really trying to do, press with it. And then, you get 7 minutes of stoppage time, and you're still sitting there, passing side to back to other side and keep going back, and you're not pressing up the damn field. Like, where was the fucking urgency? Where was that aggression? Where was that team from the first half at? And I really think after that second goal happened, they tucked their tails. That's my opinion. They tucked their tails, and it was like, okay, well, we could get a draw. But we also did have Boyko too, so.
Right, there you go. Ah, BRB. All right.
Because you saw that still photo from Sammy, right?
Oh yeah, he sent that to me right after the game. He sent that to me and Ralph right after the game.
Like, how is that just a regular foul when you're getting your face mauled?
I'm inclined to say it wasn't that bad of a performance from Boyko, but the line of drawing of what a yellow card is 11 minutes into the game on a soft foul is definitely, I feel like, the new norm. Right? I don't think that was a foul. It's a foul, but it's not a yellow card from Max, right? It's just, you don't have to give a yellow card there that early in the game. Stoppage time was so brutal. I would say it wasn't brutal, but it was just definitely like, what is happening, right? And
he was starting to lose the game.
It's tough to even watch now. And I was, asking the guys like afterwards, recent results would show like, you're starting to get it figured out and whatnot across all competitions. Was it a little bit of complacency in Derek's back? Was there a little bit of complacency in the second half that kind of wrote the script for you? And Sean and Steven both said laziness happened, and the lack of communication and all that fun stuff. But I think even then you have to, no matter what, you can't play a game for 60 minutes and then just not do anything, right? Yeah, the game's 90 minutes long. In this case, it was 98 minutes long. We have to, continue to go from the first minute to the end of the game. And I think Hugo was honestly the highlight of the match, quite honestly.
And like you said too, and Gazdag is actually starting to, come alive. And I've said, I hate saying it that it takes time, but look how long Gazdag was with Phil, with Jim Curtin.
Yeah. Right.
And that style, it's hard to break a style in 2 years.
It is.
And I think Rydstrom, giving him a wake-up call. I don't think he looks at it as a wake-up call, but I think it's more of a ball check. do you have what it takes to cut it? You're a DP, and your performance, I'm watching your performance in, practice or previous games, and it's not there. Like, do you have what it takes? Do you have what it takes to hack it here as a DP?
Yeah.
But still trusting him, right? And still showing like, hey, we're gonna ride this till the wheels fall off. And I think Gazdog getting that first goal, albeit, was it in Open Cup?
For the season?
Yeah.
No, it was Galaxy.
Yeah, that's right. So getting his first goal, I think that right there took so much pressure off of him. He's not going to admit it, but it took so much pressure on him. But the fact that him and Hugo have been connecting, and you saw it,
yeah,
and the one Knox game, you saw it, LA, you saw it, in this collapse against Minnesota. That combination, I think that's what Daniel was looking for, was somebody that he could connect with. And it's paid off.
I think too,
still can't hear Derek.
I can hear him just fine.
I can't hear Derek.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh.
You should be able to hear me. I don't know. My thoughts is play the younger guys.
Yeah.
The guys who have been playing well in the Open Cup start playing, like Picard and Gazdog have been doing well, and it started in the Open Cup. And I think that in the position that we're at, and we're losing games, that if some of these, I don't know, some of my opinion is like, if these guys are being slow and lackadaisical at the end of the game, start yanking some of them and give their playing time to the young guys who are playing well and are showing a lot of grit. I mean, they could have easily gone out. I mean, I know that they have the opportunity and they're making the best of it, but it'd be very easy for anybody to go into those games. Like, probably not a Gazdag, but even like a Picard, go into those Open Cup games and just give like, a 75% performance, because he's already kind of, getting playing time on the first team. And this is clearly more crew 2 than first team, but then they're going out there and killing it. And if they're showing a lot of overall, attack and will and, passion to be out there and things like that, I say start yanking some of the, veteran guys and saying, look, they're giving more effort than you are, especially towards the end of games, and make them earn it back. And sometimes I think you have to do that when you have a new coach. It's very easy for people. Change is hard for anybody in any kind of profession in the first place. And a lot of it takes getting everybody on board. And it's very easy to get up 2-0 and be like, all right, we got this thing in the bag. And then you completely piss away an entire, a 2-goal lead. And then to just kind of seem like at the end, we're tired, whatever, we'll move on to the next game. Like, that's not, when you're especially on the coaching side, he's already, I haven't seen anybody say that he should be on the hot seat or anything like that. Cause I think in general, everyone kind of understands that it's going to take a little bit of time, but
you have yet to see the comments.
I haven't looked too much in the comments, I will admit.
The post-game presser on Massive Report YouTube.
Yeah.
There's just one person that's like, Rootstrom out.
Ugh.
It's not the players, it's Rootstrom. He's a terrible coach. Da 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 da.
I mean, you guys started it off, and you guys were there, and you saw that it was a lack of effort. And I mean, ultimately, of course, you do sometimes worry that the coach has lost the team, And you don't ever, hopefully that's not the case this early in it, but especially when you think about these US Open Cup performances and I've watched them and the team is out there like playing their asses off. So
Yeah.
I know it's against USL teams and things like that, but it doesn't matter. These aren't all first team players in the first place, and they're all out there given that they're all the entire way through the game. So even if some of them don't have good performance, you're at least seeing that will. And if I was a coach, I'd look at that and be like, these guys are willing to do it. And if you're the veteran, maybe you need like a Gazdag, like we were saying, where maybe it just took him a little bit of like, are you at this level anymore? And can you play at this? Start asking that of some of these other players. And it doesn't matter what your name is, you have to continue to prove yourself. It's not just you get a free pass because you have a name that's been around for a long time and and you're making a lot of money.
And going to a point of what Andy said, can we talk about Schulte? It's a hard convo, but man, we are leaking goals. I honestly don't think that this loss is on Schulte. I don't think there's hardly anything this season on Schulte. I think he's probably played some of his best soccer since 23 this season. If I'm looking at this game in particular, the Minnesota game, I'm saying it's on the defense. It's on the defense that definitely is going to put the blame on him and make him seem like he's at fault for it. Our set piece defending has not been good the last
after a long time.
Yeah. So our set piece defending is not good. It's one of those things where we have to, and I think Sean said it, I think Taha said it also. We have to, we're not the biggest team, right? But we have to be able to throw our bodies on the line on dead ball defending. We have to be able to put ourselves in that line of fire and it would risk what it takes to not give up these goals. 3 set pieces, 3 goals. We can't be letting this happen and make it be a constant thing. It's one thing for Schulte to let in a goal, but it's another thing that for the defense on set piece defending to make sure that they are clearing the ball away from danger. And they didn't do that against Minnesota. They haven't done it for years. So now, and Gerald brought it up earlier, the only person that is able to kind of be that dog is Amundsen, and he was not in the second half. So I think it's on the defense, but not mainly on Schulte. Minnesota's known for set pieces. So that's not an excuse, but it does matter. It does matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but I'm not going to sit here and blame a lot of the performances or the goals on Schulte when our defense has been absolutely terrible for the last 4 or 5, maybe 6 years.
And if they're known for it, which they are, then that's not an excuse for the defense not to be ready and knowing that, like trying to like throwing your body around, like you said, and things like that. I think, of course, it's very easy to blame the keeper when the ball goes in the net, regardless of what happens 90% of the time. I'd yell at my TV and I'm like, how did you not dive over? Granted, I could never do what was being done in the first place, but diving over far enough, or there's things like that. But I think you do have to factor in the defense, and I do. At the beginning of the season, I don't know if I like vocally said it out loud, but it worried me that we did not really like try to go after a lot of defensive weapons in the offseason. Like, we're clearly getting old at it. It was an issue last year, and then we kind of just really didn't do much of anything to strengthen it or get more depth. I mean, we already had some depth on the team, but like getting more of them or getting better even, I like all these players. I don't want to see anybody go, but if there's an area where you can level up at, especially on defense, I think you got to take those swings. And if it's at risk of, somebody else going that isn't playing as well, I'm okay with that sacrifice ultimately.
Gerald?
I don't know what's going on, but I can only hear you, Ty.
I forgot.
Gotta love technology, right? No, but
Yeah.
it's there have been some games where I could say honestly say this year Schulte should have had a couple goals, right? Don't get me wrong, and it's not like Schulte came off his line too early. Crew's defense didn't mark anybody.
Yeah.
And that's why two of the goals were allowed to come. All three were what? Headers?
No. You had the second and third headers. The first one was a right foot half volley.
So but still, he wasn't marked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeboah wasn't marked at all. And it's a combination of 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other, right? It's partially Schulte, but it's also the defense. So it's 50-50. There's not, 100% blame goes here, 100% blame goes there. Now it's a 50-50 thing. And I think Camacho's the weakest link.
I think
Camacho
is the first goal. I put more of the blame on him for that first goal, but I also will say that was shortly after he just got in the game, so I'll give him a little credit on that. But overall, or not Camacho, I'm thinking of Chiburko. Never mind.
Got
it all wrong.
He said I blame Camacho for that goal.
I had it all wrong. And I'm just over here bashing Chiburko. My apologies. I looked over and I had some notes and I read the complete wrong thing and was just went with it.
I blame Camacho for that
I do
goal.
blame Camacho. That's a good point. I did, to circle back to earlier what you said on Camacho. I think like you said, I think it's an age thing. I think he has lost a step. Yeah. And it's going to happen to everybody at some point. It's not, unfortunately, that just happens. And yeah, coming off the bench would be better. I tried to save it there. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
I tried to save my thoughts there.
Derek said it's Camacho. He preferred Camacho off the bench also.
Oh, yeah.
Cheryl didn't hear any of that. You know what?
Yeah, no, he heard nothing of that. So I have to relay messages back and forth.
No, but it's Camacho's the weakest link. We need another person like Malday.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, Yevon is good. Don't get me wrong, but we got a Great Dane, and his name is Malday Amundsen. And he's a dog when it comes to aerials, right? We need another person like that on defense. I like the 4-pack because then you could throw two of them up high and keep 2 back, which I think is what's starting to work for Columbus is starting to figure it out. But when you have somebody like Rudy that loses track of a team game and doesn't communicate properly. We saw that with the one where Patrick tripped Camacho. Well, Patrick had the ball. Patrick had the beat on the ball, and here you go. Bruh, chill the fuck out. Get out the fucking way. Go sit in your rocking chair somewhere. With a pitcher of iced tea or lemonade, something. Go back to the retirement center. I don't get me wrong. I did miss some of Camacho playing, but if we're gonna get this type of Camacho, I don't want it. Put his ass back on the bench. Let him come out for about 15, 20 minutes. If that, and call it a day. You got young pups waiting that are jawing to get starts. Ruvalcaba, Tristan Brown, Owen, uh, Herrera wants more time. Yevon wants more bite out there, right? I mean, if he's gonna keep acting like this, then pups need to attack his ass and prove it prove it in training. Just outbeat him in training and prove, why you belong on this team. And I think, them playing some of the Open Cup games have started opening people's eyes like, oh, holy shit, Owen Prestis can play. He's got a little bit of dog mentality in him. Or, well, fuck, Chase Adams, let's get him some more burn, right? Or Tristan, he's a wow factor. So I really think seeing, having them open their eyes and showing some of the other players on the first team, like, your job is not guaranteed anymore. And that's what I think these pups need to do in training is put that pressure on these first teamers that, quote unquote, you want to call them, the should be starters. These pups need to put that pressure on them and be, like, look, I'm ready. I'm here. I want to be the top dog. And if I have to go through you at training to become the top dog, or if I have to do this, in minutes that I play, so be it. I'm going to take what's mine. And that's the attitude that they have to show that they belong on the team and to, put that pressure that make the rest of the starters unease, make them feel uncomfortable, right? Make them feel like, oh, well, shit, I need to step up.
Moving on to Andy's comment, do you think Abu Ali will play for us again? Dude's a glass cannon. It makes me mad. I think he'll play again. I do think that the injury bug is definitely with him. I do think he'll play again. I mean, it just sucks because it's like he plays a couple games for us. He shows what he can do, and then he gets hurt. Plays a couple games for us this year. Again, continuing right where he left off last year, gets hurt. I still would love to know, and I agree with Patrick Murphy on this. The medical team. What are we doing? Right? If he says he can go and you have a second guess in your head, I'm just telling the player no. I'm telling him no. I'd much rather you not risk it for the biscuit. Hey, I'd much rather you not risk it and we can kind of attack this early than go back out there for another 10 minutes and non-contact again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And could have had a partial and it would have been cool. You would have become back towards the end of the season. But now you talk about meniscus and ACL.
That's a year. That's probably looking at towards the end of the season next year. I'm probably thinking like August comeback.
Season. He would probably be out.
He had the surgery April, end of March, and part of Aprul, whatever.
He had a couple of days ago.
Okay,
it's like end of April. But I mean, if we're looking at this, if we're looking at both injuries, right? If we're looking at both in rehab and PT, I mean, at least
till April next year. June.
I'm not giving him that timeline. I'm giving him July, August when he comes back next year.
You're thinking, I think he would miss the mini season. There'd be no reason to play him in that little mini season we're doing for 3 months or whatever.
Yeah,
and
he's
better off just waiting until August when the new regular season start, the official new calendar things start.
I completely forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. And no
With
New
the sprint
Jersey
season?
either.
Yeah. The sprint season and then the shift to the new calendar. I completely forgot that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Okay.
And you mentioned the medical thing too. The medical staff makes me wonder about Mo Farsi. That was like just a mystery all last year. He had a hernia. He didn't get the surgery until like late in the season, even though he had been out since like spring. It didn't make any sense. And I get like maybe he was progressing and then had a setback or something like that in general. But because we don't know anything else about it, it would be very easy to connect it to the medical team and wondering what's going on there.
And Patrick Murphy texted me also about Gomez also. He was supposed to be out for just a little bit, and it's been a couple games now. So maybe what's this happening? And I get it, like coaches don't want to rush things, but it's one of those. Get that system double A for a smoke detector. But it's also one thing. It's like, what is? I'm not going to lie to you. I had no idea that Chaburko was on the injury list when he was on the injury list a couple games ago. I had no idea, mainly because I was working 45 to 48 hours a week. So I missed the thing. But then I see so I see Gomez on the thing. I'm like, what in the world happened now? See, he's out, questionable. I'm like, what is happening? And I can't be at media availability because they schedule them on days that I work in the mornings, and I can't get the shift covered because I'm the shift lead, and it's very hard to get a shift lead covered when other shift leads either work that day or work that night, and they don't want to do doubles. What is up with Gomez? When is he? Don't know. There was media availability last night. I'm gonna pull up the video. I gotta post the video and see if they talked about it. I have no idea. He was in the press box with his son. When was the game? Saturday. I saw him. Looked fine. Of course, I didn't see him walk, but I have no idea. So
I don't know that we would have gotten a straight answer even then, though. I mean, even if they bring it up, I'm sure it's going to be, coach speak where it's like, it's week to week. We just want to make sure he's good to go before there's, a case. We don't want any kind of setbacks before we think he's 100%. And it's like, okay, well, what's the injury? Like,
yeah.
Like, what's the deal? What's the realistic timeline here? I know that, and coaches are pretty good about learning how to not tell us anything by answering a question when it comes to injuries specifically, but I just don't know. It's frustrating when you see these mount up and then they go longer than they're supposed to, but then you don't really get any kind of answer on it.
Yeah.
It happens with every sport, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating.
For sure. Gerald, any last final thoughts?
I could go on about this game and pick it apart, but let's go forward.
Moving on to Mother's Day. NYC FC. We go to, I don't know if it's Yankee Stadium or Citi Field. We go to New York to take on the Pigeons of NYCFC. I have no idea, but this team, from what I hear, is not that great. They are above us, the same record as us. They have only scored 3 more goals than us, and have allowed 2 more goals than us. So We're looking at a pretty evenly matchup team here. 2-3-2 at home. And I just what our road record is really our road record is not that great, to be quite fair. But do we think that this is a game where Columbus is just kind of are we just saying this game could be a good game for us and the Minnesota game was just a fluke?
No. No, I wouldn't say that, honestly.
That's very,
I mean,
you had no time to think about that.
Yeah. I mean, this is based on what we know about them, I get it. It's going to be probably in some weird shaped stadium field thing, which I absolutely hate. And I feel like we don't ever really play very well in those types of setups. But I mean, to Andy's point, like these are the games that we should be winning. If they're a team that's right there with us, they're not very good. This is a good chance to play your best, show what you can really do, and win the game. But I have a lot of doubt based on what we saw at the end of the last game when it comes to like a effort thing and stuff. And again, I would circle back to I would feel more confident right now if we would play some of the younger guys who have been playing well in Open Cup, at least to start the game, and then use all of our other guys. Just try it. I mean, what really do we have to lose right now? I know we have a lot of games coming up, so we need to start winning them. And if it means doing something slightly different in order to see if it works for one game, I'm totally comfortable with that because we have enough games to figure it out. But you really don't want to go into the World Cup break when they're trying to skid, because then it's just a bunch of time where people are just thinking about it the entire time. Not just fans, but I mean like the players.
Gerald? Okay. Didn't know he was AFK. I was looking at stats from New York. I mean, what I hate the midweek matches. Yeah, man. Open Cup, sure, Leagues Cup is whatever, but I'm definitely not a fan of the
Wednesday night.
Yeah, of the Wednesday nights.
We're gonna have a bunch of them this season in general too, because of the World Cup break. Because that break is like what, a month and a half, something like that. So I mean, they're gonna be cramming. We're cramming games in to the end of this month, and then we're cramming. There's only so much time to get all of the rest of the games played. So unfortunately, but it is. We talked about it the other week where we were like, okay, we haven't done a show in a few weeks, but honestly, you guys are at the games. I try to be at the games, and it's just not, it just throws, like Andy said, throws a wrench into everything. It's not like the game we were just talking about this before we got on here, but the Galaxy game. I was ready to go to the game, but I didn't leave because I saw it was going to storm. It stormed forever. Wednesday night game starts at almost 10 o'clock. Like, if I was down by the stadium because I live close enough, I probably would have stayed just because I was already down there. But anybody who drove in or something, I'd be like, I got to get out of here because I got to drive, who knows, 2 hours, let's say, back home. And then you got to go to work the next day. So, I mean, it's not great a lot. But I mean, I also get that every league does it. You watch Premier League, they have games on weird days also. I mean, it's just
Fridays, Tuesdays, Mondays.
It's just it's kind of all over the place. So I don't know that it'll ever change, unfortunately. There might just be some seasons where we don't have as many, but
yeah. Gerald, we're talking about the New York City game coming up. You're muted.
Are you tweeting this weekend?
No, because the game is at 4:30. I get off at 4.
Darn. So we're not going to get no baseball puns.
No.
Yeah, it's at Yankee Stadium. So I mean, Yeah, I've watched a couple of the NYC FC games, and they look scattered.
Hmm.
It doesn't look like NYCFC, teams of the past. To me, there looks like there's a bunch of disorganization there. Same thing with Columbus. Um, there was, start the season off, we had a bunch of disorganization, and it's starting to come together now. There's still a few kinks in our armor that we need to kick out and replace. But as far as coming into this match against against the Pigeons, I'm with Andy on this. These are the games that we need to start winning.
Yeah.
And I think these are the games that build that confidence when you go up against, the Nashvilles, the Miamis. I hate to say it. I ain't gonna say it about them. There ain't no other good teams in the East. The Chicago's,
Nashville.
Nashville, Miami, Chicago.
Who surprises me quite honestly? New England also.
Yeah.
I mean, just by looking at the standings, 1 to 10: Nashville, New England, Miami, Chicago, DC, Cincinnati, Charlotte, Toronto, New York, Columbus. You're looking at teams that normally don't make it within the top 5 of the conference, right? And then at the bottom, you have Red Bull, Atlanta, Orlando, Montreal, Philadelphia. Everybody below us, albeit Montreal. Normally, these teams are within the top 5 of the league.
Yes, top six to the top 6.
Yeah, I mean, New England never. Chicago hardly ever. Now they're doing well. DC hardly ever. Nashville, now that they have BJ Callahan, sure, maybe like top 4.
Do we think these teams are beatable? Like, what's everyone's opinion on? Are these teams really, really good, or are they taking advantage of some teams that should be better not playing well? And could
anybody's
those
beatable,
including ourselves?
Anybody is beatable.
I mean, we saw Miami; they're very beatable.
Just take a look at LAFC. You created a big, a super team out there that hardly anybody in the West can touch. And what happened? You come play Columbus for a Leagues Cup final, and you start crumbling. And so then they go out and they go out and get Sonny. Those two together, Bwanga and Sonny, and what happens? They don't make it they don't make it out the West. You had high hopes for them, coming into this year, right? And they're showing that they can score. But the defensive tactics from that coach, whoever he is, is not working for that team, and they've given up. So, they've drew. They've, I can't remember how many losses they have, but they got 2 losses. So they got a couple losses and some draws. They got some wins, but it's just one of those things that anybody can be beat on any given day. And it's how bad do you want it? What are you willing to do, out there on the pitch? Are you willing to get dirty? And not dirty like that. I'm not saying go out there and do a Mortal Kombat bicycle kick and kick 2 players at one time, or a flying
comes
drop
out this
kick.
Friday, the Mortal Kombat movie, just for anyone who wants to know.
Yes, I am. And Mandalorian and Grogu come out May 22nd. But it's just one of those things like, what are you willing to do when you're out there to go that extra inch or that extra mile to win? Right? It's what are you willing to do?
That's what I like about MLS. There's in the top 6 like the Prem. There's always multiple upsets every week. Miami, prime example this week, up 3-0.
They still haven't won.
They haven't won at home, which is
new
crazy.
stadium.
Yeah, what is it, 28,000? I think it is. They haven't won at home, and they were absolutely flying 3-0 against Orlando. Martino Hayda, by the way, who rightly deserved man of the match or player of the match day, leads them to a loss or to a win. Brandon Samuel, all they can do is draw and lose. That's pretty much it.
That's karma for them.
I do think these games are winnable. However, I do think that the struggles continue. We can't seem to figure it out no matter what happens. We've kind of got somewhere against Atlanta. Cool. We were getting somewhere with LA. We got somewhere with, Richmond and Knoxville, and we're getting there, but it's just we don't seem to. I think we lack the confidence in the team itself, and with that, against a very now I would say hit or miss New York City team. Normally they're hit. I think it's going to show again to the point where, I guess we'll chalk this up to a loss on the season and not make the playoffs.
That prediction.
So,
That prediction.
Ask me
More so the loss part.
Oh, the loss. I mean, probably, yeah.
I feel like we do not have a good history playing in Yankee Stadium. I don't know what our record is in total, but I just feel like the weird configuration.
I'll find it.
It's not even good to watch on TV, frankly.
It's terrible to watch on TV.
It's brutal.
City Field's probably even worse to watch on TV just because of how high up that camera is.
But yeah, I mean, I will say I did. When we were leaving New York, we flew out of, I don't remember, the one that's like further away in like Brooklyn, like on the other side of Brooklyn. And
is that Reagan?
No, I think it might be JFK.
LaGuardia?
No, it wasn't LaGuardia. I think it was JFK.
No. JFK, okay.
And we drove by.
Reagan's DC, never mind.
We drove by their stadium, their new one that they're building. Like it's along the highway. When you're on the highway, you can't really see it too well. I kind of just like caught a glimpse of like this square part, and I was like, that from the renderings I saw, I'm like, that's definitely the stadium.
I can't wait.
It looks cool, but I will say it is very far away from New York, and so like that's always interesting to me. But I think it's really close to where all the tennis matches are. I could be wrong on that. There were other buildings there, but they kind of look like it. I haven't seen a map of it, so to be fair, but I just think that's interesting that they did so. I get there, it lands at a premium. I mean, you're not gonna get inside the city really at this point, but it'll be interesting. I mean, it looks really cool. I would definitely love to visit it when it's done. I think next year, but it looked like they had a lot of the outer part of it done from what I could tell. But yeah, they need to like cut some trees to be able to see that thing a little bit. Like you drive on any of the interstates around here, you can see the lawn very easily.
And the lawn.
I was like, it's not very visible from anywhere, but okay. Yeah, whatever. But I'll be excited. And just so we don't have to play on Yankee Field. Or Shea Stadium.
Oh man.
Or City Field, whatever.
Shea I haven't heard Shea Stadium in years.
I forgot it was City Field actually.
Oh man.
With the apple that used to come up for the win of the home run.
Yeah. Shea Stadium. I haven't heard Shea Stadium in forever. Jeez. Holy crap. All right. Fellas, one key to victory for the Columbus Crew. Go.
One key.
Yes.
We're going to need more than one. There's more locks on that door.
Be a dog.
Okay.
Okay.
Mine is like a duo, Picard
Okay.
and Gazdag, like the connection there,
Okay.
because they're going to need it. Because I don't know,
Mhm.
I don't trust the defense currently.
I don't think anybody does.
Like I said, be a dog. You're in New York, channel DMX. Go out there, be that pit bull.
Predictions.
Stop mindlessly kicking the ball.
Stop
back.
Yes.
mindlessly kicking the ball back
Seriously.
and forth.
Yeah,
We're not playing hot potato.
no, that's not. That should not be what's going on in this system. You said score prediction.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been good at these, so
We're getting back on it this week.
okay. We know I'm gonna go. I've had some time. I've reflected. I'm gonna go 2-1 NYC FC. Hopefully, it's the reverse jinx, and I get the score right at least.
Okay.
I need to try to win some points at this point. Anything will help me.
My heart wants to say a 1-0 win, but my mind is saying a 2-2 draw. Because
Andy would be
NYC. Hey, I didn't even look at the screen when I said that. NYC does have some scores. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I just think my heart wants to say, a 1-0, dogfight. And, Columbus coming out on top. But logically, I'm saying a 2-2 draw.
I'm gonna stand firm with Derek. I'm probably gonna go 2-1 NYCFC. Maxi Morales with a brace.
I hate him.
He's so good though. He's so good. Why did my laptop do that? He's so good though. Andy is positive that we are not keeping a clean sheet.
I mean, Evan Bush looks like he can get out there and play.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, quick question. If you had to choose one player on the team that is on the bench that you would give more minutes to, who would it be?
Well, the lineups are slightly different, so
yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's far less predictable than what it used to be. That's for sure. I gotta think about that for a second.
I feel like he hasn't proven enough for me to give him more minutes.
Oh, who's starts with an A? Why am I blanking on his name?
Akanzada?
Yes, that's who I would.
Okay, yeah, that's who I would say too. That's what I would say too. I saw him. I watched him against Knoxville, and he is super calm on the ball. I mean, yeah, we're talking about a guy who has scored in the UEFA Champions League for Karabakh. I mean, he's super calm on the ball. He has the nifty flair for when it's necessary, but he's super. I like him a lot, and I don't know why he's not getting more MLS minutes.
Yeah.
He needs more MLS minutes.
If that means put him in the next round of the U.S. Open Cup, I mean,
he
was
in the the Open Cup against He was in both of them, but he's not getting. I mean, yes, we play MLS in the next Open Cup round, but he's not getting the minutes where it matters.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting, enough minutes where it matters, and that's the regular season. Yes, don't get me wrong. I love the Open Cup. that matters. That will always matter to me. Lamar Hunt, but regular season matters.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I'm gonna stick up for the pups. I think Owen needs more minutes. I think he has shown that he can hang with grown men and take some of that physicality we saw, one Knox starting to do, in that matchup. Just trying to bully, play bully ball, but Owen stood tall. But I would have to say Owen and Tristan. I want the pups more, the pups to get more minutes. All of the pups, actually.
I'm not opposed to that. I feel like that's been a through line through the entire conversation tonight of we want to see more of the young guys based upon what we've seen from them so far. I would like to see all of them get some kind of useful minutes, not just 3 minutes at the end of a game because they need to burn a sub or something.
More cappies.
Fellas, any last final thoughts?
Sonic Temple's coming up.
Yes. I can always hear that from my house. When Korn played there a few years ago, I could stand outside and because of the very unique bass lines to all their songs, I could tell which song was playing each time. And I don't necessarily live right next to the old stadium by any means. They're doing a doubleheader with
turn around.
What's that?
Aviators. Don't get me started on that doubleheader because no.
They're taking advantage of the holiday the next day, and it's a chance for people if they want to stick around to see the Cappies play.
No. The last time the Cappies had a doubleheader with TFC2 playing at 8 o'clock or whatever, and the first team played at 5, the first team didn't start until almost 10 o'clock at night.
Why?
2022 against LAFC, the Crew was supposed to play at 3 o'clock, and then the Cappies were supposed to follow up playing TFC2. There was that long rain delay, and the game didn't start until like 9:30 that night. So they pushed the TFC2 game to the next day, to Sunday. But it was first team in the TFC2 was playing the Cappies. So and then here we got Atlanta coming in, who always, everybody knows what happens about Atlanta, weather-wise. And now you want to put TFC2? No. Because that's the night that's the night I got in trouble in the press box. Was that LAFC game.
This is your chance to redeem yourself.
No, because Carlos ain't there no more.
Speaking
of which, go find his book. His book is actually pretty good.
Okay.
Derek, any final thoughts?
No.
Same. Why did you get in trouble, Gerald? Long story short, in the press box, you are supposed to remain a neutral and not show any favoritism toward a team. And Gerald blatantly showed favoritism toward the Columbus Crew. So,
God forbid.
And I apologized real quick. I apologized so quick. As soon as it happened, I'm like, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. And since then, I've remained neutral.
Bruh. All right. Well, I think that's it for the show tonight. Thank y'all for tuning in. We will have to do this more often, provided there are no other Wednesday games. I know there's one next week. One after that. This is absolutely ridiculous. So we don't know when we're going to be live again, but we will be live again for sure. All right. Be sure to follow us on social media on Blue Sky at wisemanpod.bsky.social, on Instagram at the Wisemen Say Podcast. You guys can follow Derek on social media
at Funky Moses 17.
You guys can follow Gerald on social media
at Gerald_Lucas96.
You guys can follow me on social media at FisherTyler__. Be sure to check out the links in the description below if you guys are on YouTube, or if you guys are listening on audio. Be sure to check out the links below. Sam's Club membership tickets presented by StubHub. And yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the bell for post notifications on YouTube for when we go live and post new content. And if you are listening on audio, please make sure to rate and leave us comments, leave reviews, and yeah. Did I say my social media?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Oh, did you?
I don't know. Anyway, you guys can follow me on social media at FisherTyler__. I was glad to see this, man. Good night. And yeah, good night, man. It was good talking to you. Thanks for stopping in. Be sure to pop in the next time for 100%. We'll have to get you on the show too. Sweet. Other than that, Jared, my friend, as tradition goes, Wisemen say,
only fools rush in.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay cool. Hug your loved ones. Go Crew.
Stay wise, y'all.
Merch store, by the way, above Derek. Derek, point up to the other way. Merch store. Click and scan that QR code. Buy some merch. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Toodles.